Hey everyone, so this is part 2 of the additions to the EDC toolkit. I'm not sure if I showed you the detail of the shackle toolbar, which is here. I have a new one, which this one I'm keeping for at hand on my shirt, and this one will actually go into here. So this is by a company called RWO-Marine. See if we can try and focus that in. Please focus. I think red. rwomarine.com, and that is the actual product reference number 5140 R5140, and that actually features on their catalog. So again, I bought this from Marine Superstore, Marine Superstore, same place I got my Draper brush from. Again, very good service. So yeah, that I absolutely love. Right, a couple more things now. Let's see. So, Sterile Tweezers. These are mostly for work, but there are a lot of reasons you can use these if you need to. If you have an open wound, you can use these. But mostly for me, these are for work, so they're not really an item that I would sort of use for fixing things, but again, I need to carry these for work. So tweezers. Okay, scalpel blades. These are really good. These are by Swan Morton. Again, steriles. Blade number 15 is like this, and blade number 10 is like this. Now you can get bigger blades as well. I would definitely recommend that you carry a big blade sterile scalpel like this. Why? Because I have seen a lot of people on YouTube, and I'm not criticizing, but I'm just sort of discussing. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube use their primary knife to cut fish or to cut squirrel or any other type of animal, and then just wash it in warm water and then carry on using it for other tasks. Now, I'm actually aware of 2 cases which have resulted where that action has actually resulted in serious medical injuries to the patient, because if the knife blade touches any part of the bile or the gut or the stomach area, the acids in there will tend to stick around the blade, especially if it's a wooden handle. They will also cut into a plastic handle because they are corrosive acids in the stomach of an animal. And your human stomach, but you're not going to eat a human. But what I'm trying to say is that bile liquids and stomach acids, they are actually quite corrosive. Even if you wash them with just hot water, they're not going to go away. You really do need to treat them and wash them with a certain amount of chemicals, depending on the type of animal that you have, you're using it on. So I would highly recommend that you actually use a scalpel to prepare an animal. These scalpels, my sisters use these for emergency surgery, so they are very secure. They are very strong, and there is an instruction video on YouTube you can actually use on the correct way to hold a scalpel. These aren't toys. These are very accurate and very sharp and very strong pieces of equipment. Good thing about this is that you can actually put it back into the pack, just wash it and put it back into the pack, and then you can actually dispose of it. You can go to your pharmacy and ask them to incinerate it, and that way any corrosive acids or anything like that will be destroyed. Superglue. I ran out of this, but I absolutely love this. This actually is the only thing that I have in here. This obviously I won't check in, because I try and keep this check-in proof. So again, this is another item which I won't check in, but I'm not going to put these in here just so that I don't forget, but these are sort of the things that I'm adding to my bag as well. So this is a brush on Loctite Superglue, and I absolutely love this because it just helps you just to do fine work, and it makes things really easy instead of using the old traditional squeezy bottles or just sort of dropping it on. So I really like this Superglue with the brush. That's definitely going in. Another thing that's going in here is some thread. This is 100% linen thread, used for saddlery, canvas and upholstery repair. Now there are a number of different types of thread, and they come in. This one doesn't say the gauge of this thread. They usually the gauge is usually a two number effect. So the first number is the sort of the thickness of the thread, and then there's a dash, and then there's another number. The second number is how many strands are in the actual thread, and the first number is actually the thickness of the thread. So a 12 by 3 is, the 12 equates to a 1 millimeter thick thread, dash 3, and 3 means that there are 3 strands together in one thread. An 18 by 3, a 16 by a 16 by 3 is equal to, I think, 0.6 millimeter. You can actually look it up on, you can get these from bookmakers, not the betting shop, but the actual bookmakers, the people that sew books together. Or you can just type in 100% linen thread, and you will actually get the full information of the gauges as well. This is very, very strong, and this actually can be used if you can't get hold of Kevlar thread. Now, I do have some Kevlar thread, but it is quite expensive. This thread is sort of easy to get hold of. This was actually 70 pence, but that I bought this a long time ago. I think maybe now it might be £1.50 because of the inflation and so on, but it's still reasonably affordable compared to Kevlar thread, and I would highly recommend this for field work and for at home quick repairs of absolutely anything where you need thread. Okay, 2 cutting instruments now. You don't need these, but I actually really like them. Again, these are going into my tool bag, and now obviously anything sharp in here and the glue won't go into this part of my kit, but I am introducing them into my everyday sort of use. So these 2 are cutting implements. One is by Knipex, and it is a Electricians cable cutting knife. This knife, now the blade isn't replaceable, but it can be sharpened with a ceramic sharpener, which I have on the outside of this, and this will last you, a very, very long time. I've known electricians to have this for about 2-3 years, and all they do is just sharpen it. This is a very, very strong. Now you might be asking, why do you need a cutting implement which has 1000 volt resistance? Well, here comes a bit of the prepper element. There's been a lot of storms, there have been a lot of flooding and so on, a lot of natural disasters, so this can really help me cut a wire if I need to, and it is always at hand. And it is, it's a dedicated wire knife, and it can very easily be used, and with a lot of security. Now, obviously I will be using it for other things, but I'm obviously going to be quite responsible on how I use it, and I have watched some videos on how to properly use it and so on. So this for me is a very, very good tool, but I would highly recommend having one of these at home. Or if you don't really want a knife, then you can have a pair of scissors. Now these are by Klein, which is another German manufacturer, I believe, and again these are the same 1000 watt resistant, and they have a wire cutter here. They have an indent wire cutter, which again is sharpened, and because of my bad luck it probably won't. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, just because I'm doing it, if anyone else was making this video it'd probably focus straight away. But yeah, so there's a wire cutter, and then the bottom layer is serrated like tough cut shears. So essentially this is 100 watt electrical proof tough cut shear, and this will rip through anything, leather, electrical wires, even brass wire or snare wire, and the also good thing is that it is very comfortable to hold. You can hold it with gloves as well, so and also if you ever happen to find a victim who has been electrocuted or was doing a repair or something, and there are electrical wires near them, you can actually just cut the wire and secure the victim. Whereas if you are using some other type of cutting implement, then there is a risk that you could also electrocute yourself. But again, these are very, very good pair of scissors. So these will be going into my toolkit, which I call my everyday toolkit, but that is actually something that I would actually check in if I were to travel. Whereas this everyday toolkit is this is my everyday toolkit. These will be going into my everyday tool roll. So I showed you my tool roll last time, which was the multicolor, the MTP design, which is actually here, which stays in my secondary bag. So I have another one of these where I'm adding a few other things to it. This one has a little bit more technology added to it recently. So there is this, and these again will be going into the second part of that tool, tool roll. So that is the check-in part of my tool roll. Again, this will also be going in there, because I don't want to have anything absolutely in here that cannot pass airport security. So I am actually just showing you the things that I'm adding to my EDC tool. Okay, I'm going to call this my EDC tool pouch. Okay, I'm going to stop making names up now. EDC tool pouch for my bag, which goes in my Rush 24, and that is my EDC tool roll. That goes in my secondary bag, which is a big naval dry bag by Helly Hansen, and my tools and my immersion suit and my boiler suit and my other forensics equipment goes into there. So these will actually go into that. Okay, now let me see. I always advocate having some of these. These are essentially just 10 ml vials. I have these for work reasons, but these are fantastic just for EDC stuff as well. You can actually put anything in here. You can put tool oil in here, you can put lighter fluid in here, you can put nails in here, sewing threads, sewing needles, anything that you want to keep secure, dry and safe. You can get these off Amazon at a very, very good price. Okay, what else? Yes, so I also have, just remembered, in here, litmus paper. Now, litmus paper, like you used to use when you were in school to do tests, I highly recommend you carrying litmus paper. If you are carrying water purification tablets, which I have in here from my last video, definitely carry some litmus paper. It doesn't weigh much and it's very, very light, doesn't take much space at all. So all those people who are minimalists, this will save you from actually damaging your equipment, your water purification equipment, especially if you are near sheep that are lambing, or if you are near a farm which is using pesticides. Be very, very careful. So just take a piece of paper and then make sure it is within pH 6 to pH 8. Water is usually pH 7. If it's too acidic, like vinegar, or if it's too alkaline, like like the alkaline batteries, that will harm you. Even if you water purify it, that will harm you. So you need to be able to check that it's not too far on the opposite scale. So you really need to be safe with that. And a lot of people just, they water purify it, but a lot of sediment actually gets left in the water filter, and you really don't want to damage your water filter. Even by boiling, sometimes it can't. The high acidity or the high alkaline cannot be removed, and you need a certain type of purification chemical. So you can, depending on which one it is, there are a number out there. I need to do more research, but pH strips are very good for double checking water. Okay, so this is part 2. I will stop it here, and I'll probably make a part 3 to this later on. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.